let's talk a little Baltimore. So last week, Ray Lewis criticized his former Ravens teammate Joe Flacco, saying he lacked passion for the game. Lewis then apologized on Monday, saying his comments stemmed from frustration of not being able to emotionally rally the Ravens like he did for 17 seasons. Here's Ray.
I'm a Raven for life. But Joe Flacco, what I was talking about, my brother, it wasn't even about you. It wasn't even personal. It was just me being frustrated of watching something that I had control over for so many years. Brother, your personality is what it is. You're a man and you put on your pants one leg at a time just like everybody else. Listen, from a man, you'll never hear it again. Sorry for ever even calling out your name or putting your name in the context of making you try to be anything that I am or anything that you're not.
Pastor Lewis with the slow jams in the background there. Should Ray have
apologized? He does
apologized?
like the slow jams.
Yeah, yes, if he felt like he needed to apologize, he should have. And I know how that's interpreted in the media, especially in this opinions media, in the sports opining business. You never walk it back. And this is what he's doing. You know, Ray Lewis is now opining about sports, and he has certain special insights into the Ravens, obviously. Don't walk it back. Don't apologize. It looks soft. It looks bad. The fans won't like it. Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is, it's the right thing to do if you feel you owe someone an apology. At that point, you don't have to worry, especially if you're Ray Lewis, by the way, Super Bowl champion, maybe one of the greatest linebackers who ever lived, one of the greatest football players who ever lived, the leader and all this stuff. If he feels wrong about what he said, then to hell with the perception of him apologizing. That's exactly what he should have done, and he did it. Good for him.
Well, see, here's my problem with your thought. Because if I disagree with that, then what does that make me? The fact of the matter is, the question is whether or not we thought he should apologize or not. Not, oh, Ray Lewis feels he should have apologized, so who are we to tell him he shouldn't?
Well, we don't know if Ray Lewis feels that, or someone in the Ravens got to him and told him to.
I will tell you this. Ray Lewis is his own man. I know the brother personally. He and I are pretty tight. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't have done it unless he felt the need to do it. Me personally, I don't think it was necessary. Now, I'm not knocking him for doing it because I understand. You know, if that's what he felt, of course, if you feel you should apologize, you should. Who the hell don't know that? But the
why
flip
can't
side,
you just call him? Why do you make a video?
No, because you might.
He did it publicly in the first place.
Exactly. No, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, Molly. You can't shrug that off. Here's why. If I sit up there and I get on you publicly, then I got to man up and correct myself publicly if I feel the need to do so. You don't do something publicly.
Did it with Carmelo earlier this year.
And I did it with Carmelo earlier this year. But my point to you is where it came to.
And does that make you soft if you felt like you
owed
an apology?
And I'm not saying, but I'm not saying he is. I'm saying I didn't think there was much for him to apologize for, because what did he really do? I understood Bart Scott in his position because they're former teammates, et cetera, and you're thinking about that bunker mentality stuff being in-house. Don't go outside the house to say the things that Ray Lewis said. And I think that has a lot to do with why Ray Lewis has apologized. I have not spoken to him in the last few days. I do not know why, but I'm telling you how he thinks. What I'm saying to you is this. Had that been me, if I'm not apologizing for that. When I apologized about Carmelo Anthony, he had a point. I know you. Reach out to me, bro. You said this, but you could have hollered at me even when I was in Rio. I'm thinking he's in Rio. I couldn't reach him. But that was my bad. What I'm saying to you in the case of Ray Lewis, what did Ray Lewis really say? Did he say Flacco couldn't play? No. Did he say Flacco's a scrub? No. Did he
say anything wrong?
All he said was he lacks passion.
The reason, I
didn't see the reason for
I'm
it.
looking at it from Ray Lewis's point of view, should Ray Lewis have apologized, is because this really comes down to your personal code of ethics. Some would say, in fact, it's unethical to be commenting in the media if that's your job. If your job is to give unbiased commentary, which, and I'm not, obviously what we do is not always unbiased. You are a Steelers fan, I'm a Giants fan. We talk about that. We preface our discussion about those topics with that. This is opining. It's not straight reporting. So there's a caveat there. But someone would say it's unethical to have that job and not say exactly what you feel. Others would say, wait a minute, you know what supersedes my ethical responsibility to the job at that moment? The bond I have with this guy that I won a Super Bowl with. Yeah. And that's why it's important to look at it from Ray Lewis's point of view. It comes down to your own personal code of ethics.
Flacco took
all right, that's fair if you want to look at it that way. But what I'm saying is that Ray Lewis ain't on First Take. I am. And if I feel that what he said about Flacco was accurate, I could sit up there and say, okay, maybe you shouldn't have said that, But damn it, you were right. And by the way, let me address, because it's important, and I'm going to deviate from the subject just a touch here. I don't know about everybody else, but when it comes to my opinion, let me offend America by saying this. I have the right to it. Most folks don't. You got a whole bunch of people that are out there giving their opinion. They didn't come up through the grind the way people like myself did. You know, when you a beat reporter on the scene, when you traveling, when you living off of tuna fish and Kool-Aid, when you climbing the ladder of journalism for over 2 decades, when you do all of this stuff, and back in the day, before the advent of the digital age and ESPN and beyond, where you literally had to work and grind for decades just to have the right to give your opinion. We don't live in that world anymore, and that's fine, good, and dandy. So I get where everybody else is coming from. But make no mistake about it, when it comes to this opinion, in this chair, there was a trial and a tribulation that I had to go through that has earned me the right to be in this position
that's never
to
the
give
way
those
it's worked
opinions.
with athletes.
And that's the way it goes. And athletes, it don't work that
especially
way.
Top professional athletes, especially Hall of Famers and champions, Super Bowl champions, they get fast-tracked. And the ones that have the ones ultimately that have the ultimate success in this medium are the ones who are more willing to be opinionated. But that, hold on, that will reflect in Ray Lewis's career. We shall find out. If he feels he owes someone an apology, he should apologize.
Time out with the athlete comment. Athletes are busting their tail just as much as we are.
And that's true.
They're starting at a young age. Well, same with this business.
Wait, Molly, that's two separate things.
No, but you were trying to. You basically said that for athletes, they're essentially it's handed to them, not like us.
No, they are fast-tracked. If you are a championship athlete, if you're a Hall of Famer, which Ray Lewis is,
hard.
There's no question that every athlete in the NFL has worked 100 times harder than everyone in the media business. Like, if anyone disputes that, from the time they're students through their professional careers, and they also have more knowledge of what they're doing, that's absurd. They work so much harder than we do.
I'm not saying that they don't work harder than what I'm saying.
But once they retire, they get fast-tracked here.
You're saying that physically.
Right.
I'm saying to you that they are, listen, mentally and beyond. There's a hell of a lot of work that goes into things that other people do. I know for a fact. I've been in this business for almost 25 years. I don't give a damn what kind of work an athlete has put in. The work that I've had to put in to get to where I am
not as much as them.
Not phically. Not physically, you're damn right about that. But excuse me, we all work hard. Let's stop that nonsense. Ain't nobody getting. I can assure you, I can speak for myself. Ain't no silver spoon in my mouth. I work to get up here.
It's not about silver.
I just want to add one more thing about the athletes that turn into analysts. I get that Ray Lewis, he's a leader, he's a champion. I have the utmost respect for him. But the best analysts are unapologetic and they own their comments. And I don't think that he owed an apology.
And I agree with that. Flacco, he owed Flacco no apology because he did not insult. He said he has no passion, which we all see.
That is the general consensus that those who are unapologetic, no matter what, including in our national politics right now, that's the most important thing, to always maintain your right. But I think the more sophisticated view, including in our politics, is to take a more balanced approach. And when you are wrong,
you're right to it. You're right in a balanced approach. But balanced approach is one thing. Being fearful of taking a position is another.
Fine. We can agree on that.
We can agree on that.
Get right into this because I don't have too much time today. Actually, I'm off, so I got nothing but time. Stephen A, my problems with you today, man. All right, you're sitting here bloviating. Huh? That's your word? You're sitting here bloviating.
Stephen A., since you were completely right on this subject, let me quote one of your famous sayings. The disrespect!
Earlier this week, Stephen A. stated that super teams are bad for the NBA. Stephen A., my brother. To use your own words, that statement is asinine, asinine, 10, asinine 11, and 12.
So they listened to you, clearly. I like that first guy. Just keeping it real. Like, no, I got all the time.
He was terrible.
No.
Let me tell you why he was terrible. Let me tell you why he was terrible. Because he didn't make a point. You on camera, you got to get right to your point.
It's all right.
You got to make it. No.
He was just letting us know.
Listen, I know.
I don't care if you made a point or not. I like watching it.
I know you're getting on me because I will admit I am accustomed to sitting across from somebody who challenges himself to make points from time to time. So I understand why you were like that guy.
Stops.
I need substance. That's what I need, Max. I need it immediately. Right off the bat.
Sometimes
he wasted time.
Sometimes you hear a rapper And the lyrics aren't all that, but the flavor. It's called, you know what Tiger once told me? He said that's ear candy, right?
Right.
That's like an entertainment candy, but it worked.
He was funny.
It was good.
He was funny. I ain't got nothing but time. I got it. But you ain't make a point. You're on national television. You ain't got time. Make your point.
Maybe it got edited out. All right, tomorrow's the day we've all been waiting for. Who will get the chance to debate Stephen A. and Max right here in Bristol? We will announce the 2 winners tomorrow. We can't wait. Meanwhile, Adrian Peterson, who underwent surgery to repair a right lateral meniscus tear on September 22nd against the Packers, is making solid progress in his recovery and could be back on the field for the Vikings by mid to late December. League sources telling our Ben Gosling the 3-time rushing champion could start running this week and is said to be exercising caution. He could make his return before the end of the regular season. Stephen A., should he be rushing to return this season?
No, he shouldn't. He's 31 years of age. I know the clock's ticking, but he was the best running back in football, one of the top 2 actually with him and Le'Veon Bell and what have you. He's elite. I think he's got some time left, and I don't think this team is good enough to win the Super Bowl. Me personally, Sam Bradford's your quarterback. I like Stephon Diggs. I like him a lot. But at the same time, I think there's some question marks about what else they have. Is Thielen? Is Rudolph?
They're competing for first in the NFC.
They are competing for first in the NFC. They got a playoff berth or whatever. But with Zimmer there, that defense there, they're not going to go anywhere. As far as I'm concerned, he should not rush back. He shouldn't come back until he's 100%, which I don't believe he will be for this season. I think it's a mistake.
He should absolutely rush back. Now, generally, if a guy hasn't already made his money, I'd say calm down. If a guy's already won Super Bowls, calm down. What are you rushing back for? If he has made his money and he's won Super Bowl, but he's 26, 27 years old, chill. Like, wait till you're ready. Don't jeopardize your future. Okay. Adrian Peterson's going to be 32 years old in March. That's past the expiration date for running backs. Now, we had a big debate about this earlier in the season, and I said, take a good long look. This will be the last season you see Adrian Peterson, the real Adrian Peterson. Because after this, be it catastrophic injury, deterioration of speed, whatever else, he will not be the same. He can still play effectively, but he will no longer be elite. Everyone said, no, he'll be elite, whatever. What happens? What happens to aging players? Catastrophic injury. Or just players who play a lot, because it raises the odds that eventually you will get hurt. That's what happened. They have a bad offensive line. They can't block for the run. He's not going to...
The worst runners attack in football.
Yeah, he's not going to set any records, but he's better than what they got. And the Vikings showed something earlier in this season. They showed a defense that, whether we remember this defense or not, it has the chance to be the kind of defense you remember. Remember that defense 2002 Bucks or the 99 Ravens or something like that? It doesn't even have to be Super Bowl winners. Some defenses are a little special. That was the Vikings at one point this season. Not that many teams flash things that you think, I might always remember that team or that component of that team. They did. So when you see that, you go, if they have just the right stuff, they might be able to make a run. They need a running game. He can help them there. His future, he will never be elite again. I'm here to tell you, I've already told you, those days are past. But he can still be good. He can still contribute. He's already made his money. This might be the best chance he has to win a Super Bowl while he has something to offer a team.
But I'm making the argument that I don't think it'll be the best chance. I think that the Minnesota Vikings, a piece away under Zimmer's stewardship with that defense vibing together even more so. I'm a Xavier Rhodes fan. This brother is big time. He needs to get more love than he has received. He is an elite corner in this game. He has size, he has physicality, he has speed, he has athleticism, and he's got an assassin's mentality. He will put a hat on you. I like this brother. I just think offensively they're a bit shorthanded. I think they're a piece or two away, something that they're more than capable of filling out in the offseason. I think as a result of that, with more time for Adrian Peterson to come back 100%, whereas due to this injury, due to this latest injury, he may never be the same. I do think he'll be better next season than he would be right now. I think he would be more of a liability than an asset right now.
They are unlikely to improve at the quarterback position. They may improve in other positions, you're right. But
I'm not sure about that, Max.
But the point is they may not. This may be, you may be right or I may be right, but this may be, you can't rule it out. Like, this might be the best chance they have in terms of the specialness of the defense, what they flashed early this season. And my point is, Adrian Peterson is Superman. He made other athletes think, even other great athletes, I can come back from an ACL. No. Just because Adrian Peterson did doesn't mean you can.
Yeah, but that was that time.
And the next season, he led the league in rushing and rushed for over 2,000 yards. So if anyone can come back from a catastrophic injury and contribute, it's him.
But he came back the following season.
But if he feels like he's ready to go, what are you waiting for tomorrow for? Do it now while you got something in the tank.
They said he's getting better, that he could possibly go. They did not say he was 100%. I'm making the argument that he needs to be 100% when he gets out there because of age, because of attrition, because of this injury, etc. Not to mention the fact that the personnel that they have in place, the question marks on that offensive line, with 2 offensive linemen being out for this season, they've got problems with pass protection. Next year, that won't be a problem because they'll be back. Secondly, Teddy Bridgewater will be back. The combination of Bridgewater with Sam Bradford, maybe you're right about Bridgewater.
Maybe not the start of the season.
Maybe not, but I'm saying the possibility of Bridgewater with Sam Bradford being there, with an additional year under the belt, with the offensive line more buffered, with that experience, I think you wait, because I don't think now is the time.
But I hear what you're saying, but that's like the probabilities are all times this, times that probably, and that means the percentage that it works out keeps getting lower and lower and lower. There's so many ifs, that you're trying to look into the future in a way that's really not possible with this team given these circumstances. But you know what's possible now? You can win the North. And you know what else you can do? You can get hot in the playoffs, especially with that defense. And that home field advantage, by the way. If I were Adrian Peterson, I would not let this opportunity go by, and I don't think he wants to.
No. If you're a running back, you might have a point if he was a key to the defense. But being
how's their running game?
The running game is horrific.
Oh, will he improve it, yes or no?
Because of that offensive line, we're not sure. Because again, you got Jake Long out, you got Andre Smith out, you got 2 of your starters that are out of the lineup, and not only that, they've been horrific for the most part over the last 5 weeks because of their inability to run block or pass protect. Why am I coming back from an injury? When that situation,
their running game's not going to go worst to first, but if Adrian Peterson's running it, they just got a little better, and they may not have to get that much better.
He's an ultimate competitor, though, regardless of what we think. He's going to try to be out there as soon as he can.
He should do what he wants to do. I'm just telling you what I would do.
Of course.
What I would do if I was a coach. I wouldn't want to.
Go get that. Go get chipped up.